fun colors. Today we're going to be making the Groom gnome. A few days ago we made the bride gnome, and today I promised I'd make the Groom gnome. So this is what he looks like. He's holding a banner that says Mr. and Mrs. He's got a hat on that says Groom, and you can tell that he's really excited that he just got married. So that's what he looks like, and we're going to make him right now. So what we need to make them is we're going to need a roll of this ribbon from the Dollar Tree. It says Groom and Bride on it. It's in the bride section. And a roll of the ribbon that says Mr. and Mrs. on it from the Dollar Tree. We're going to need a double pack. There's two black full cushioned men's socks, size 6 through 12. We're going to need, they come two in a pack. I've already used one set when I made the shoes, but they come two in a pack, and that's what you want to get. We're going to need an 8-inch by 18-inch piece of charcoal felt. We're going to need two 11 by 2.5-inch pieces of charcoal felt, two 3 by 3 pieces of charcoal felt, two 6 by 6 pieces of charcoal felt, and two 6 by 6 pieces of charcoal felt. So then we'll need a 4 by 5 piece of the silver fur for his beard, and I'm measuring that just on the backing, the 4 by 5. 3 6 by 6 pieces of the oatmeal, and we need a 5 by 6 piece of white. We need his shoes that you can find, that the shoe video is linked to this video to tell you how to make these shoes. You want to fill them with marbles for this gnome. We need to get black rubber bands, some fiber fill. We need a 1/4 inch by 9-inch piece of charcoal felt. We're going to be using some blush, and other than scissors and your glue gun and some glue sticks, that should be it. So I'll clear this stuff off the table and we'll be right back with you. So the first thing I want to do is tell you that I forgot to tell you about these cardboard pieces that we're going to need to make his hat. We're going to need a 5-inch circle piece with a 3-inch middle, cut like that, for his hat. So it's 5 inches around the outside and 3 inches in the middle. And then we need a 3-inch circle piece of cardboard. And then we need a 11-inch by 2.5-inch piece of cardboard. So there's 3 pieces of cardboard that we're going to use to make his hat. So after I told you about that, I want to get started on him. And we're going to start by making his body. We're going to make an 8-inch body. I'm going to fill this with a handful of flat marbles. And then we're going to fill it with the polyester fiber fill up to 8 inches. And then I'll be right back with you. So I've got this body filled. It's 8 inches from the rubber band all the way to the surface, to the bottom. It's filled with marbles. It's not filled with marbles, but it's got marbles in the bottom, and it's filled with polyester fiber fill. It's 8 inches. We're going to attach it right off the bat onto the shoes. And I wanted to make mention that I cut to get the part that we want of the sock that we wanted to use for the body. I cut the tops off the sock, and the tops will become the sleeves later. So let's go ahead and get these shoes glued and ready to put this body on them. You want to put your glue on like this. These shoes are full of marbles. You just want to stretch out the bottom and bring it out open like that and set it right on the top like that, and then hold down for 3 or 4 minutes and let it set up, and I'll be right back with you. So the next thing we want to do is make his nose, and this is the same way that we make his hands. I'm going to make the nose now, and then I won't show again how to make the hands because this is exactly the same way. So you just want to put your polyester fiber fill inside your 6x6 piece of oatmeal felt and use a natural color rubber band. And then you have your nose. Cut the extra off. And then what you want to do is put some glue on there. And glue them on right in front of the little stub there on the top of your body. I'll let him set up and I'll be right back with you. So I've got the nose set up on his body, and I want to put a little bit of blush on his nose. Not very much. Just a little bit. That'll do it. And the next thing we want to do is make his arms. So we're going to go and take the 2 top pieces that I cut off the socks that I made his body with. Take those 2 top pieces, and we're going to put a little bit of polyester fiber fill in them. Not very much. You just want to put that in there and then do the other one at the same time so you can make sure that they're even. Like that. And then you want to fasten the ends with your rubber bands. This is an end that'll be glued to his body. And this is the end that'll be the cuff that we put his hand in. Now I'm going to do the other one and make his hands, and I'll be right back with you. So I just, I'm getting ready to put the hands in, and I have a little cuff piece I put in here to show like his shirt is coming out of his sleeve, his white shirt, and I put a little cuff piece in there. So I'm trying to remember exactly how I did that. I'm gonna kind of get through it here with you. That's how I just cut it kind of like that. I left it attached, and cut the piece like that, and then just wrapped it around the hand like that and glued the whole thing in together. So I'll just tack that little cuff piece down on here. So it just looks like the end of a sleeve coming out. And then you want to put that in the end of his cuff. And hold that down for a minute, let it set up. I'm going to do the other one, and I'll be right back with you. So the next thing we're going to do, I've got the cuffs in the hand glued in there and the sleeve. Those are all ready to go. What we got to do is we got to put the sleeve to his jacket on him before we attach it to his body. So I've got two 6x6 pieces of the charcoal felt all cut out here, ready to go. So you just want to lay his arm in there. I would say have the rubber band be right about at the edge of the sleeve, the rubber band, so the hand's sticking out a little bit. And then you just want to glue it down like that. Get it started here. You want to make sure it's really even right here where you start. Then after you get that glued on like that, you take your rubber band and fasten it. And it's going to look about like that. You have the jacket sleeve on. And then just go ahead and trim that end a little bit so we don't have quite as much that we're trying to glue onto the back of that little stub part. And then we're just going to do the same thing to this sleeve, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I've got both the arms done. They're ready to go on the body. We're going to glue the seam going down this way so you can't see it in the front or the back. So it'll be going down this way, and we're going to glue it right on the back of that stub like that. And then we're going to hold it for a couple of minutes. So you just want to get your glue on there. Put it about halfway on the back. I'm going to let that set up. I'm going to put the other arm on, and then I'll be right back with you. Got his arms attached. They're all set up. And the next thing we want to do is get out that piece that I told you about that's 8 inches by 18 inches. It's a charcoal felt. 8 by 18. And this is the size of felt that I start with, but I might have to adjust it a little bit after I get it on him. But this will make his jacket and his pants. So we'll just take it, it's folded in half, and then I'll fold it again. And I just want to cut out a big enough piece that we can get it over his nose and that neck stub piece and pull it down. You really don't have to take that much out. And that it goes right over the top of his arms like that. It fits him just right. It's coming down to just the top of his shoes. What we'll do is we'll glue both sides. Just coming straight. It's just a really simple glue on him. Just glue them together. Make sure that they match up right there at the corners. And glue them all the way up to the bottom of his sleeve. Just like that. I'm on the other side now. I'm going to touch up that sleeve right there a little bit. So I'm on the other side now, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make sure that these corners meet together perfect, and then work my way up. And then what I did was I just took and I cut the felt right down the center to make it his pants. And then you just want to leave that open like that and put a little dab of glue on the on the bottom of each leg. I might have to hold him to. And then we'll do the same thing in the back. Just right down the middle. Like that in the back. So I cut him in the back and I glued back down both sides of his pants in the back. And I've got the front cut and glued down just a dab of glue on each side and put him on the and glue it onto his shoes. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just a little detail across the back like this that kind of separates the pants from the jacket. So kind of put it like a U shape on there, if you can see what I'm doing. About like that. And you're going to trim it when you're done. It's hard to cut this kind of a piece exactly right before you have it stuffed and the jacket put on and all that stuff. So I cut them a little bit long and then trim them when I'm done. So just all you need to do is glue them like that. And then cut that extra right off of there. That piece could be a little bit shorter. So we're going to go like that. That's how that looks in the back. That's how it looks on here. And then you turn them around and we're going to add the beard next. I like to leave this groom behind where I'm working so you can always look behind there if the camera allows and see him for reference. So the beard, you want to take this 4x5 inch beard, is silver, cut it, fold it in half, cut a slit in the middle there like I have to fit around the nose. And then we want to make sure that we glue in the corners of the beard so it's not just so square. Put a little glue on the corner of that backing and then fold it up. Put a little bit of glue on the corner. And then fold it up. This rounds it out a little bit. More natural of a shape. And then we're gonna use the hairspray today to style his beard and mustache. But how we're gonna glue it on is we're just gonna pull it around his nose, put it up here next to the little stub and glue them right on in place there. So I'll turn them around. And kind of do it more towards the stub than the arm because you want it to all go underneath the hat. Then on this side, I start shaping his mustache right as soon as I get that on there. He's already got his blush on his nose. And what we want to do now is make his hat. I want to put a little bit of hairspray on his mustache and his beard. Just get some super strong holding hairspray. Firm hold. And you may even have to put a little bit more hairspray on before you're done because he might get a little messed up when we put his hat on him. His arms will go down like this. He'll be holding his ribbon, Mr. and Mrs. And we're going to do the hat right now. So for the hat, it involves all these pieces. The 6x6 piece that we're going to glue the 5-inch circle on. And then the 3x3 pieces that we're going to glue the 3-inch circle on. And then the 11 by 2.5 inch pieces that we're going to glue around the 11 by 2.5 inch piece cardboard. So I've got them all right here in front of us here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start gluing the felt to the pieces. Front and back. All the way around like that. You just want to take those aside. Get your glue on here. And try to get this right in the middle of it. And then hold that down, let it set up for a little bit. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that other piece on the top and glue that on there. And I'll be right back with you. So I've got that 11-inch piece done. It's got felt on both sides. And then we're going to do the 3-inch piece, the top of the hat. You just want to put the glue on the cardboard. Let that set up. And then the last one that you want to do the felt on both sides is the 2 6x6 pieces. And you take that 5-inch circle that has a 3-inch middle, and that's the rim of the hat, and we're going to glue that on. Takes a lot of glue to do this hat, a few sticks. Then we'll go back to that 3-inch piece while this is setting up. And we just want to go around and cut off that extra felt that we have on there. This is going to be the top of the hat. What I do, because I don't want there to be extra, I didn't want to cut it big and then have there be extra fabric hanging out. This is going to fit right in the top of the hat. So I wanted to cut it exactly. And you're going to see the cardboard through there. So I do 2 things. I take a black marker and I do the outside of it. Cover up any cardboard that you can see on the outside, and any place that you can stick a little bit of glue if it's back far enough. So it's a little bit of time to make the hat. But it's a cute hat to do. It's not something that you can really go out and buy. Now on the other Groom, I did put a piece of silver trim around the top of his hat, and I'm planning on doing it with this hat too. It plays off the little Groom sign that he has on, and so and it also makes it a lot neater around this edge to have that silver trim on there. So we'll be doing that to this once we get the hat put together. So we got that pretty glued all around on the inside, so that trim will go on there real easily. Won't have a problem with it. Then this piece is going to wrap around and make his hat. Goes in like that, and we glue it. I'm going to trim that around. That should be good. And then this is the rim of the hat. And you want to just grab hold of the middle of that so you get a hold of get a hole on that fabric. Now the inside won't be showing because we'll have the middle of the hat glued down on this. We just wanted to cut that out so that we could set it down on his head. But the outside is where it's going to be showing, so we want to cut around that. Then what you want to do is you want to go around and glue that better closer to the edge. You want to go all the way around and glue it. Make sure it's right to the edge. Looks like I glued a piece of my paper to it. So once you get it glued right to the edge like that, you can take a marker and go around the whole rim and just black out the edge of the hat. If you notice any spots that you need to glue together, just do them as you go. So use your marker and glue together and get that rim looking nice. And I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I've got these 3 pieces pretty much ready to make the hat. I went around the edges and blacked it out and glued it and paid great attention to all the detail. So we want to take the 11-inch piece and you want to fold it in to where it's going to accommodate this top piece right here. I'm going to fold it in like that, so where the top piece is going to fit right on top of it. And once you get it there, now remember, we're going to put a silver trim piece around the outside. That could be glued a little bit more and will be. We're going to put a silver trim piece around too. But we want to make sure that that piece is going to fit into there really good. And then when we find that magic spot, we want to go ahead and glue this. Just put that down and hold your spot here that you found. And then glue that really good. You're going to have to hold that for a few minutes to let it set up really good. So I'll be right back with you. So I've got that glued, set up pretty good. I kind of went like that with my hands to get the shape of the top of the hat back. Just kind of work with it a little bit. And then the top of the hat goes on there. So I'm going to put some glue around the edge. And glue it right on there. Make sure it's right setting right on there good, and just hold it down. I got a little glue came out here. Two things, scissors and marker. It's just a constant making sure everything's right on this until it's done. Now, we want to glue this to the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue around the bottom of here, and then I'm going to place it right in the center of our room and let it set up. Okay. If you're going to go off with the glue, make sure it goes through the middle of the hat, the part that's not going to be showing. Then you want to place it down on the rim. Thank you. I'm just going to go around the inside. I'm going to let that set up and I'll be right back with you. So we've got this glued on. It's not real pretty from the bottom, but this is how we're going to see it from the top. Got this hat all glued and set up. What I want to do is put some trim around the top of his hat. And where I got the trim from was this Dollar Tree roll of ribbon. I took the Groom tag that's going to go on the front of the hat off of it. And I've used it for bows and bride tags and stuff like that on the bride. And I just want to take and cut some of this silver trim off to use on the hat. Once you get it started, it just usually cuts right along on the scissors. And you get yourself a long enough piece to and that's going to be a big enough piece to go around the top of that hat. We'll get that out of the way. So these are the three pieces that we're working with. We're gonna attach this ribbon from arm to arm. We're gonna put this in the front of the hat, and we're gonna put this silver trim on the top, around the top of the hat. I'm going to take that, put that around there. So what you want to do is just start at the back. Put a little bit of glue on there. And hold it right on there. And you kind of got to hold it and let it set up as you go around. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, we've got the head all glued together. The trim's all on there. We just need to put the Groom's tag on the very front. So I've got my fingers on the back where we glued it. So I know how to middle it in the front. Hold it on there, and I just put 4 little dabs of glue on that. And then we want to glue the hat to the head by putting a little bit of glue on the top of his nose. And then putting the ridge of the hat right down on there. And letting that set up for a minute before we try to do the sides. Then after that, we'll put the Mr. and Mrs. ribbon from his arm to his arm, and he'll be finished. We're just going to put a little bit of glue under each of his sides of his hat to glue him down here. Let that set up. I'll be right back with you. What we want to do now is put his Mr. and Mrs. sash on. Just stretch it from hand to hand. And you can just imagine him at the reception celebrating that he got married. And there he is. And there's a bride. They're all set, ready for the reception. And I thank you for coming and joining us today. And if you like our video, please remember to like.